Hello, this is Mr. Ellis. I'm here again with some useful HTML. I want to talk about these HTML tags because the last video went a little longer than I like. In this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something different. I have completed the whole document, and I will now simply move my comment tag so that I can discuss each section as I go. Okay, so I'm going to start by displaying this header. And I'm going to talk about the header here. We've talked about the header tag. In this case, I use center tag. Later, I will use a style attribute to center my content. I want to start using these CSS style attributes so that you can understand CSS as we move along, and by the time we get to hardcore CSS, you will have some understanding of the attributes of these elements. Okay. This header just is simply this following HTML tags are useful. Okay. I am using these HTML tags because I wasn't able to cover them in the last video, so I'm going to try and give you a brief introduction to more useful tags in HTML. First, I want to open my document with Google. Okay, and you can see the header. The header is, for the most part, plain Jane. I have centered it. I use the center tags to do so. Okay, let's move on. The next section, the semantic tags section, is like a header or a div that we used in the last video. It's just modern HTML. Okay. My section is going to align all of its content, center it. Okay, and that's a style attribute on the tag instead of a style tag using CSS. We have text align. The colon can be read as is equal centered. Okay, I wanted to put an image in. As we talked, images are, you have to have images on a page. If you don't have images on a web page, it's kind of dull. So a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I've used the image tag to show you that this is an easily inserted multimedia images. Of course, you use the image tag, the img. The source is the image to be displayed. I always use an ID on my tags because to manipulate with JavaScript, it's easier to have an ID. Of course, the frame that you're going to display the image in, I use 400 by 400, and I have a P tag here that says the following are elements used to interact with the user. Now, these elements that I'm going to talk about are interactive only because the user puts something in. Okay, so let's go and it helps if you save the document. And reload it. And here you see my header and my little image with its caption. Okay, I use a horizontal rule to separate the sections. I'm going to move on to the next section. I want to talk about this next element. Everybody likes links that are horizontal. It's become in vogue to use links that run across the page instead of along the side of a page. In the old days, we used tables, and we would put our links in the tables. Nowadays, they have tags for this. Okay, it's known as a nav tag. Okay, and I talked about a list of links in your last assignment. A list of links is ordered or unordered lists with list items that are link elements or anchor elements. Okay, so here's an anchor. The href, of course, is where I'm taking it. The HTML is going to take us to their URL. Okay, the target, as I talked before, I want to open up a new window, because if I don't, then this NFL will be opened on my document. Okay, and I have to go back to get to my document. I have also Google and Yahoo, both in a blank screen. Okay, like I said before, the link text is what will be displayed. It'll be blue and underlined. Okay, so I'm gonna save. I did. Go out here and display this. Okay, and here you see a horizontal list of links. The NFL, of course, I love the NFL. Okay, I'm gonna go back and Google and Yahoo. Okay, now I can open up as many pages as I want. You know that your tabs are practically infinite, but now I don't have to close or go back, use the back button. As a matter of fact, on these pages I can't use the back button because they are new. I can now just simply close these or navigate to my page back and forth. It's an easier navigation situation to use the blank. Next, I would like to talk about input fields. A text field is an input field that allows you to enter characters in a text field. Everybody's seen a form that you've used when you sign up for a new web page or a new email. You fill out a form. A form is basic information exchange on the web. Okay, and one of the elements of a form is a text field. Okay, a text field allows you to put characters into a box, and later we'll talk about how to get those characters out of the box. But this is how you create it. Now, it's an input tag of type text. I've always used my IDs because I want to access the attributes of this input. Then I need to have a name for it. Okay, and then here comes the name. The name attribute is used in the form. When I'm doing form processing, the name attribute is how I access this text field. I used a label because the text field has no text to define what it's used for. So I use a label to define what this text field does. In this case, I didn't define what it does or what it holds. I simply said this is a text field. Okay, and it's for my ID a T field. Okay. So I'm going to save this. I made sure to save it. Yep. And reload. And here you see the text field. Okay. And this text field, I believe, may be infinite in its character. Yeah, that's about infinite. Okay. But it's only one row. One row, infinite columns. Okay. Text field. Next, I'm going to move on to another text element, and it is a text area. Okay. The text area, unlike the text field, has multiple rows. You can define the rows with a row attribute, and you have the ability to limit the columns. In this case, I have 6 rows and 60 columns. Rows are vertical, columns are horizontal. Okay. And the tag is specified with text area. Again, I always give my tags IDs. And this particular tag has a closing tag. Now, the text that's between these is going to be the default text. And I simply say, comment about your experience in the cloud. Now, that is trivial, but it is a good practice to put some text in that text field so that they know what they want to put in. Okay. I said enter your comment here with my label, and inside I put comment about. Okay, so I'm going to save this and reload. And here I have a text field. Now this text field should be 6 rows and 60 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Now let's move on. The internet is made up of images and videos and audio clips. And in order to get these in, you can use an embed. You can embed from YouTube and you get a perfect embed. But they do provide tags that allow you to insert video and audio into your pages. Okay. In this case, I'm going to demonstrate both video and audio. Let's start with the video. This video tag has a closing tag. The frame in which you're going to display your video is specified, height and width. And then the controls. Now the controls, when you look at a video, you have the pause, the play, you can skip through, you can fast forward. Okay, those are the controls that are on a video tag. Okay. The source, this can be confusing because it's spelled out as source, but this is what SRC means, source. Okay, when I say source tag, I want you to spell it out. Your source attribute defines what will be displayed in the video tag. Now, the video here is very old, and it is MP4. I prefer MP4s. They're easier to handle and edit. I think that the type for other formats is totally different. But in this case, my type is video MP4, and that must be in your tag, in your source tag, for you to display the video. Let me save this and quickly go here, reload. And as you see, it is a video and it has controls. Okay. Okay, and that's an old robot, so we're not gonna spend a lot of time on that video. Okay, next, last but not least, when you're in a web page, you have the ability to hear audio, especially if it's a music site. Okay, I spend a lot of time on my Amazon Music. Okay. It allows you, the HTML allows you to insert audio clips using the audio tag. Again, you don't see, if you don't have an image, you don't see what the audio is about. So I have inserted an image, of course, with my source. Pieces of a Dream is a band here from St. Louis. The height and the width of the image is the frame that I'm going to display it in. The audio has controls, just like the video. It has a source tag, just like the video tag. It has a source and a type. Audio MPEG. MPEG is for MP3. Okay. And I'm going to save. And hopefully this will play. It's a very old. Yeah. And this has been Mr. Ellis, showing you some more useful HTML tags for Intro to Computer Science. Have a good day.